I'm excited to announce that I'm doing something for the very first time here at Longhorn Lester's. Finally, we have finally reached the point where I can actually bring my lawnmower onto this pasture and mow. Guys, I'm not an idiot. I know that there's no way that I could ever get you to watch a video of me mowing the grass. But I don't know. What I think you will do is watch a video of me sharing a blessing. And let me turn my camera around and just show you a little snippet of how blessed we are here at the Longhorn Lester property. And this is something that we've wanted to have happen for years. Two years of drought. Of course, we had the woods clear cut. Let me just turn my camera and talk to you for a minute. Well, let me start off by reminding you of what pasture we're talking about. I'll actually talk about both pastures, but they've both presented us challenges. If you remember, oh, listen, Dinky Daryl's hollering at me. I know, Daryl, it's your pasture. So we'll talk about Dinky Daryl's pasture pretty soon. Let's first talk about our horse pasture. So you guys know that when we bought the property, the type of grass that Mr. Dub and Miss Sharon had planted here, had seeded, was what they call a crabgrass. And crabgrass is wonderful to have a pasture to cover your pastures because it doesn't grow high. It doesn't grow up. It just kind of has a nice ground cover to protect your soil, keep everything in place from erosion, and it looks pretty. It was very easy to maintain. You didn't have to mow it. It only grows this tall and it grows across the ground. Now that's wonderful for looks, but we found out real fast it did nothing for nutrition for our animals. So we came back and planted Bahia grass seed. And I will say that we're so blessed that Bahia grass has finally taken root. It's taken over the crabgrass. And now we're getting a whole lot more nutrition off of this pasture for our horses and donkeys. So this is not really our focus today. We're so blessed that Bahia grass has finally taken root and that we're looking really good on this 10-acre pasture. Now, over on this side, and I know the sun's at an angle, it's going to be a little bit difficult to video, but you can close your eyes and just imagine if you can't handle the sun. This is the side that we've had the most concerns with. Now, this is an 8-acre pasture, and if you remember, at one point, this was very heavily wooded. We hired Mr. Leo and his crew. That's where you all met the guy named Uriel. They came out and they did a clear cut. And they took out a lot of the big trees. They did leave us a few sporadic trees here and there. We asked Mr. Leo to try to match the two sides of property together as far as the types of trees, the size of trees. And so he did a really fine job at doing that. Now, I've had to come out several times with my tractor and push things around. We've made so many burn piles over here, friends, and we've burnt and we've burnt and we've burnt. But at this point, we've gotten all the limbs pretty much picked up, all the trees pushed into a pile, and we've made so many burn piles that the pasture's cleaned up really nice. Now, the problem, though, is that we could not get anything to grow. Last year, at your advice, we did call our county ag extension. They came out and took a soil sample, and what the results showed is that there was a very high levels. Well, here's the thing. We needed to put down lime. If I start talking about chemicals and nitrogen and phosphates or phosphorus, whatever, I'm going to get myself very confused. But what I will say is this. The soil was not conducive for growing what we had to have grow. We did what the... Look at Trudy staring at me. She's like, what are you doing out there, Dad? You want me to come join you? No, Trudy, stay where you're at, sweetie. Stay where you're at, Trudy. Don't come over here. I have the gates open. But what we did was we got in the ag extension advised us to come out and lime our pastures. So we bought the machine, or we rented the machine, we bought the lime, we came down and we limed it, and they told us you have to let it go an entire growing season, and you may have to lime it again. Now, we've not had them come back out to test yet. But I'll tell you what we're noticing is that this place has just exploded with all kinds of grass. Now, this over here is a lot of that crabgrass I was telling you about. This is not the most nutritious, but friends, it's a grass. We're getting grass to grow. We also have a ton of weeds, which is what I'm going to come out and mow down right now. And then what my plan is, in the next couple of days or so, I will go to Richardson Ag and I'll rent me one of those buggies and we'll get it full of ryegrass seed. And I'll come out and I'll plant me some ryegrass for the winter. That's our winter grass. Now, we cannot plant ryegrass on that pasture over there because it's in fact not real good for your horses to eat that much sugary ryegrass. So instead, they'll just be living off of hay, green hay, dry hay, and their grains throughout the course of the fall and the winter. But over on this side, for our goats and for our pigs and our big birds, we will plant some ryegrass seed. And this, if we're lucky, will be like it did last year. We'll get enough rain and it will just explode with beautiful ryegrass. And then, this is the fun part, come spring, we'll come out and we'll plant bahia grass seed the way we did over there. And let's just keep our fingers crossed that by this time next year, by the end of summer next year, we'll have 2 beautiful pastures that can maintain your cows if you had to, horses, donkeys, of course your goats, pigs, and everything that we have that depends on a really wonderful grass source for its nutrition. But what I'm doing today is mowing out some of the weeds. I could bring my tractor, but I think that I wanted to do a little bit nicer job. And the mower set on a very high level is what I'm going to go ahead and use today. And then we'll be ready for our ryegrass. I hope that I didn't get too excited, because sometimes when I get excited, I start talking and I kind of more like ramble and you can't understand a word that I'm saying. That's always been my downfall. So I hope you can at least hear the excitement in my voice, even though you may not understand a word I'm saying, because even I don't know what I'm saying. But I'll tell you what, I am excited. And I want to say thank you, because some of those things that you advised us to do with the ag extension, with the lime, all of those things are panning out to be true. Woo-wee! Friends, look what I've done. Look what I've done. So what I tried to do, and this is kind of the way that my mind has to work, I take a big job like this and I divide it into quadrants. So right here on top of this hill, this is that same spot where I found that Civil War era cannonball. Remember that? And so what I did was I kind of divided the pasture into 4 quadrants. So I took just now and mowed all of this quadrant over here, and that looks wonderful. I tell you what, it's a bumpy ride though. It is a bumpy ride. But I got all this mowed down good. And listen, I'm not doing a finishing mow on it, friends. I got this blade of mine raised up to 4.5 inches. I'm mowing this stuff at 4.5 inches, just to kind of knock some of the big stuff down. But this quadrant is done. I'm going to go ahead and go now to this side over here and try to take care of this quadrant before it gets dark on me. I'm about to lose my light. And so I'm going to go ahead and keep my mower going. I'll start along the fence line and I'll just square. I'm just going to do this, y'all. I'm just going to do this and get smaller and smaller and smaller until this side's taken care of. And that's where we're going to have to call it a day. But listen, this may be the last video of this particular project for right now. Thank y'all so much for watching. I'm so excited about this. And God has really blessed us here. You guys have just been so wonderful in your support and love for us. I'm about to have company come join me, it looks like. But listen, thank y'all for watching, and thank you guys for the advice and the thoughts on this pasture over here. And I can guarantee y'all that we are off to a really, really good start. And I do think that come this time next year, my friends, we'll be able to put donkeys and horses over here as well, not just our goats and pigs. Oh boy. Oh, I got to stop and love Trudy, I think, friends. Thank you all for watching. We love you so much, and we will catch you guys on the next video.
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.